Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so let me vent. It's a Laker game that we just experienced last night before I went to sleep that really did enough for us as Laker fans. And if you guys know, I gave y'all a whole 50 minutes of talk last night and mostly just ranting and speculating about my frustration. Well, no, speculating about what I see there, which frustrates me. And that is guys not playing two sides of the ball, superstars not sacrificing for the rest of the team, superstars focusing in on each other and how they don't appreciate whatever about one another as opposed to what they need to do for the rest of the 13 guys. I am a little disappointed at Coach Ham for not putting his foot down and securing the victory in spite of those two. I'd sit both of them boys. They would both be sitting down in the fourth quarter of that game. As soon as they start blowing the lead and I started seeing 2 and 3 possessions of wide open shots, I would have benched LeBron James and I would have benched Russell Westbrook, and you would have seen Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker and everybody else who actually got us the lead. They would have been the ones that kept it. Now I'd set them two old men down right next to me. That's what Darvin Ham needs to do. Don't let these two guys or these three or whoever cost you your job, because these old men are set for life. They don't care nothing about what happens past this moment. They don't care. And it's time for people who have things to lose to tell people who don't have things to lose to get the hell out of the way. It becomes a situation where I have a different approach. If you have all this power, you have all this talent, and you have solidified success in your career, your family straight, everybody's living the dream, and what it is that you do is leaning on whether or not other guys have that opportunity, and you failed them because you're not thinking about that aspect of the game or you don't care nothing about that, it's going to be hard for me to look you in the eye and respect you as a man. Let me tell you the truth. The way I'm wired, it's hard for me to respect you because I know you got it set. I know you got it set. You got life set. And other people sacrifice for you to be able to be in the position you're in. Granted, talent came your way. God gave you talent. But it took other guys to sit down and swallow their pride so that you could be featured every one of them damn years. And now in year 20, year 17, whatever it is for Russell Westbrook, you guys don't want to sacrifice so that Austin Reeves and Wenyen Gabriel don't get kicked out of the damn league because they don't play well around you while you're trying to take 20 shots a game? Why am I supposed to respect that as a fan, bro? Why am I supposed to respect that? When everything I look around in the world is a hierarchy based on what people are worth and what they could provide, and other people not mattering and things of that nature, that's the example that we have in the world. I don't want to see that in my sports. I don't want to see that with the guys I look up to and the guys that the younger kids are looking up to. I want them to understand that they're valuable whether they have the talent or not. And we talk about examples. What example am I supposed to show my kids, man? I don't have any, granted, let's just be real, but let's just talk about the circumstance for which it is. What am I supposed to tell my kids if that's the example the leagues are showing us? Okay, well, because you got more talent, because you're favored for whatever set of circumstances, now you get to not sacrifice for the rest of the team. The team is going to have to fail because of you, just because you have that. So you were given all this talent, everything that you were given, and they're supposed to be sacrificing their circumstances and fail so that you could be the main character or whatever. I don't like that energy. I don't like that. I don't like it on a basketball team specifically because it takes everybody to make it work. It takes everybody putting a hand in somebody's face in order for it to work. It takes everybody sliding their feet on defense to work, boxing out to make it work, being efficient and taking their time to do things correctly to make it work. And we're asking all these lesser guys, quote unquote, lesser guys, to make all these sacrifices. And the dudes that are worth billions of dollars don't want to do nothing to help the team when they need to do things in order to make the team work defensively. Be on a string defensively for the guys who can't hit 100 shots and get 15 assists and 10 rebounds every night. The guys who weren't given the super talent to garner the type of cachet that you were given just inherently because you were born with the type of genetics that you have. Hell no. I want to see guys like that, because they were given so much in this life, be willing to do at least the bare minimum to not be a liability for those who weren't given so damn much. For guys who have to get it out the mud because it ain't coming to them easy. They don't get to roll out of bed and score 30 and 15 because their talent don't give them that. And it's cool because they're at a certain level that makes it so that they're good enough to play. But they're not able to show their talent or evolve to their best self because we keep on making the main character the focus, and the main character don't even give a goddamn about those guys. Or us and our organization for that matter. And as you can see, this fan wants to see player development from stars and youngsters that don't have a whole lot of talent. Everybody in the league, man. If you made it to this level, you need to be able to cash out in a little bit of time you have. So you got to be able to get as good as you can get the money you need to get, and hopefully stay as healthy as possible. And if guys are in systems like this, where the goddamn superstar wants to shoot 7 jump shots in a row or 11 3-point shots because he feels he just wants that. You didn't do enough for me because I'm the guy and I'm the guy. It's like you exalted yourself, fam. You're drinking the same Kool-Aid that people who exploited you wanted you to drink so they could continue exploiting you without you asking questions of whether or not it's the right thing to do or not. You are feeding into the bullcrap. And I am telling you, it's why so much bad energy and losing energy surrounds this man, because he prioritizes certain things that lean into that. And that was never meant to benefit him or anyone like him. And that's what I try to, like, that whole, whole hype thing that LeBron took on, that came his way without his choice, at 15 years old when they started putting all them cameras in his face. The problem, man, that now we have revisionist history. We can always look back and see whatever it is. But the problem that I see there is that it allowed for a certain level of expectations placed upon LeBron James to do certain things to keep that aura up. And as a result, it had him shooting for the wrong things or pointing his energy and his efforts in the wrong directions to meet certain expectations that, in my opinion, were not beneficial to his career or beneficial to him winning. And so because he was pointing to trying to get those things done, I got to do it this way in order for those set of things to get done. Those set of things play into you losing basketball games. And those who put that formula in place for you to do that, they wanted you to make money. They didn't care about you winning basketball games. They didn't care about you winning basketball games. They didn't care about what your career would look like when you were not as durable of a player to be able to get away with certain things that he does. And that's what LeBron James needs to take into account. Why are your tendencies so harmful? Because you're not the tank that can play 82 games a year anymore. That's the difference between now and then, and why things need to be done differently now. Because it is not beneficial to the unit to lean on you, because you can't be there every night, man. And if you're too busy trying to exalt yourself for reasons that have to do with people not respecting me because I'm the king, brother, that part ain't important when we're considering what's going on this side of the ball. When we're considering longevity, what it takes to win, when you have lesser talent, those things do not need you focusing on whether or not people believe you're the king. That is a formula for this unit that's going to fail you. You need to learn how to be like BDF 44 as it pertains to not being so important. The importance is going to be on you. But when you start drinking the Kool-Aid as it pertains to your own damn importance, that's when you start doing things that lend itself to losing. And you've been taught how to do that by people that didn't care nothing about you winning. And that's why I want him to unlearn that stuff. We're in a world right now where we have to unlearn things. Old dogs need to learn new tricks because them old tricks were put in place for them dogs to stay in traps. And if they're going to get themselves out of those traps, they got to unlearn some of that stuff. And it starts with those of us who have the example, who have the camera, who have the celebrity to show the rest of us how it's done and that it needs to be done. And so this is much deeper than just basketball when you're talking about LeBron James, because that's how talented of a person he is, and that's how much influence he has on the world. People are going to take what it is that they see him do and apply it in other aspects of their life and business. Because Bron did it, so that's what we doing. It's just like Jay-Z, man. Jay-Z did stuff. We got to talk like, you know what I'm saying? People are mimicking these individuals in other aspects of life because they're inspired by them and what they do on the court. So if he's going to be leading by that example, is to say, well, we got to make sure that people respect me as the king, even though we're not going to be doing a whole lot of winning while I'm the king. That's bullcrap, family. They did all that for the numbers so that they can make money off you. That was an image. That wasn't about you being actual God, fam. You got to be one of the players. And if your functionality is to pass the rock and everybody's heralding you as the great passer like Magic Johnson. And then when we get you on the team that Magic played for, there's continuity issues because you don't want to pass the rock. And you want us to call you the GOAT, and you get mad at us for not respecting you as the GOAT, my brother. Don't you see that it's not that we're not respecting you the GOAT. You're not respecting yourself as the GOAT. Because how you playing the game and how you're approaching this game and how you're approaching this tenure with the Lakers. The dude in the bubble that made all them sacrifices, that was the GOAT, bro. You understand what I'm saying? That was the player I'd say was greater than anybody who ever played the game. Because I don't think there's too many people who've ever played the game who could have did what he did in that damn bubble. Even though everybody looks at it and say, oh, it was scared. That was a billionaire who was pulled away from his wife, his family, his creature comforts, and anything else that would allow him to have a good life for 3 months. And all he had was his teammates and basketball in the state of Florida, from which he's not from. And he ran through that bubble with focus, and he beat everybody in front of him. We walked away with the championship. I don't know where that person went. I respected that person. I liked that person. I'd pay that person $200 million today to play for my team because I know they're going to do everything necessary to sacrifice. And that's why I have so much anger. Because when you've proven to me what you can do and you take steps backwards or you go into a different space because it's a different time or whatever, I don't have that type of respect for you if you're the pinnacle. I can expect that inconsistency from another different type of guy. But for LeBron James, nope. When you herald yourself as the best and you get offended when people say you're behind Jordan, then damn it, you better take everything that come with it 10 times over, brother. Because I'm not running around telling people I'm better than Jordan. I'm not running around telling people I'm better than Chick Hearn or whatever the pinnacle would be for what it is I do. I'm not. And if I do, you better hold me to that standard. If I make any mistakes, if I'm not quite up to standard with the great Chick Hearn, then y'all need to bash my head in until I live up to them standards if I'm running around saying I'm better than Chicky, baby. You kidding me? And that's the point. That is the damn point. I need him, LeBron James, to understand that we've been witnessing greatness our whole life. We're not in awe about that. With respect to Cleveland and Miami, we're not in awe with greatness. We know greatness, bro. We know it. We know it well. We've studied it. We've been intimate and close with it. We've won with it. We've lost with it. We've watched it leave us many times. You're one version of it, brother. We are not moved because we've seen greatness make sacrifices necessary for us to win, and we did. Broken finger, won. Messed up situation, personal, outside of the court, won. Situations with injuries and all that, won. Everything necessary. Our guys, their lives and their careers played out fully. We saw it all. You can't come here at the tail end of your career and not have the energy necessary but demand the respect from who? Us? Do you see how many championships we got, bro? You're not going to get it. Why? Because we demand the same respect as a unit. We're you. Essentially, as it pertains to respect, you came to the team version of yourself. The hell you think we about to bow to you? That ain't never gonna happen. And if you thought we were that way, I don't think you would have chose us in the first place. You came here to be held accountable. You came here to win. You came here to try to be the best. You're not acting like it. And I'm not looking at Russell Westbrook saying that because Russell Westbrook's not on your level. No disrespect, but Russell Westbrook's he's somewhere else. On the totem pole, we're talking about the top of the top. You put on the uniform because you know all the best players ever wore this uniform, not named Michael Jordan, wore this uniform. All the best players ever were in the league. It's either us or the Celtics or Michael. With respect to a bunch of other guys, I'm sorry. This is what it is. And so LeBron James came here for that, but he came here with the wrong attitude. We know that. He got that attitude together, and he lost it again. And I'm telling you, people come here for the wrong reasons. I'm from Hollywood, California. There's no more Hollywood place than Hollywood. I am from the Hollywoodest place, the fakest place in the world. And I'm telling you, that's not who we are. It's not who we are. It's who the world thinks we are. It's who the world has promoted us to be because we are that shining light that all the stars come to. But if you actually walk around the streets of Hollywood, more people think like me than not. Blue collar people who are looking to work hard, who are looking to do what it is that they have to do to get things done properly. Chess, not checkers. That's the actual spirit of the city I'm from. People who are like really from Los Angeles. We don't cut corners like that, bro. The mindset is it's too damn expensive to do so. You can't cut corners. You got to work hard. You got to stay sharp. You got to stay on your ball, just like in New York. You ain't going to make it. So if you out here cutting corners and you think we are the aura of Hollywood that you've been shown, when you get here, you start realizing what we respect. When you get here, you start realizing how this place is wired and how this place is structured and how this place is politically put together. The citizens here run the place, basically. And what I'm telling you is we respect certain things based on things outside of class a lot of times, even though it's like the class is what's focused on. Oh my God, just look at the stars at the front row. Look. But if you go down the street, you're going to see rural areas where people are struggling real hard, living really, really tough lives, but are still up every day doing what they got to do. Hollywood is not Hollywood, man. It never was. It was just a light that was shining on the place. The people respect blue collar work, hard work, and people that do things correctly. We like role players, especially when they do their hard, do what it is that they're supposed to do to complement the stars. And we like stars when they respect the fact that role players always have to do certain things to stay in position around them. As to where stars don't have to do that to be in position around role players. And that is often taken advantage of, I think. It's taking advantage of, like, I ain't gotta rotate for this dude. You better rotate. Get your ass out there. Like, bro, but that's your man. I don't care. Because you know you need to get out there. So if I messed up, you make up for it. It's like, I'm seeing stuff that looks like that to me on our basketball court. And I'm just sitting here like, you don't think I respect that as a fan, do you? You sending Winnie and Gabriel out to rotate when that's your man. You don't think I respect that, right? It's like little stuff like that, man. I'm just like, look, if guys aren't going to be willing to sacrifice for one another and sacrifice for the betterment of the team, then I think that them being extracted for the team is the only thing worth the want. And this whole wishy-washy, next week they're going to play great, so I'm high on them, and then the week after that they're going to play low, so I'm low on them, that just tells me they're a 500 ball club. They don't tell me nothing else. We're a 500 ball club, and we're headed straight for that. We're going to have some nice wins. We're going to beat some teams. We're going to have nights like this where the team just ain't going to care. The guys will be focused on the wrong stuff. It's going to be about who didn't do what and why they so damn happy about it. Who made the last shot and how I could have made it better. Stupid ass stuff, man. Pissed me off watching that nonsense yesterday. I tell you, I was so hot watching the Lakers yesterday blow that 17-point lead, one possession after another, because guys can't get along. Russell Westbrook hit a shot. LeBron James rolled his eyes and then don't play no defense. LeBron James hit a shot and Russell Westbrook rolled his eyes and don't play no defense. And all the while, Anthony Davis sitting there like, anybody remember me? If these two idiots would just sit down, I'm literally the MVP this year. Anybody care? Or is it still about Bron? It's still about Bron, right? Because that's just it. Never mind if that's what's best for winning or not. We just run things through Bron because that's just the world. Which doesn't make any sense because this man's given us one championship in 4 years, and Anthony Davis was very much a part of that. I'm one of those people that gets tired of trying to run things through AD because he can't stay healthy, or the level he'd been playing wasn't this, but it's this now. It's this now. He's playing the level we want to see him play at. And to me, him needing to take a backseat while playing well so that LeBron James can get in rhythm is a bad organizational decision for the Lakers. It's a respect factor for LeBron James that does not cater to us winning at all. And if y'all want to give him that respect, you need to understand that there were a whole 16 years of basketball that he did not play in our uniform. And that type of respect should be given to somebody who did. We throwing away the team for the betterment of them when we know it's costing us wins. The only reason why I would agree to that is because I wanted to see that Kobe retired a Laker and got his money, and I knew we wasn't about to put nothing together that was going to make it so that he could good enough to win. So paying him was the only logical thing so that we didn't have the worst possible crap on the floor. It's the only reason why we would do that. We didn't really want to do that then. And you think we want to do that with LeBron James? And look, my thing is, that's what I told myself last night as I was ranting and I was listening to my video. There was an angel in my ear, so to speak, telling me, he's played a lot of minutes, Brandon. You ain't played that many minutes. You don't know how it feels to have that type of wear and tear on your legs. Like, that was what I kept telling myself. Like, you're not being respectful enough for the fact that this dude has played way more basketball than anybody else. So I will give anybody who has that retort for me that, because I hear it in my head. I hear you. But at the end of the day, I can bring you flowers. But the next thing for me to do after I hand you those flowers is tell you to sit down. Do you know why? Because you can't do the job. Thank you for your 20 years service. Thank you for all the things that you've done. But right now, I need people who can do it. I need guys who can run the floor, who can contest three-point shots, who have the energy to do it. You've done it already. That's all that tells me, is that you've done it. And now it's time to let somebody else to do it. So we're going to disarm that, Bron. If you're sitting here telling me that you can't do it because you've had too many years on you, and at this point in time, you just need to be able to take the defensive possessions off. Well, what I tell you is you can't play basketball because basketball requires you to play defense. What's the problem? Like, am I tripping? You're going to lose. You're going to have all your energy on the offensive end, and you're going to give up what we saw last night. You're going to lose. That's what happened. He only focused on the defensive end. The team only focused on the offensive end, They only focused on the offensive end. And as a result, nothing was stable. For the last 9 minutes of the game, nothing was stable. And we kept on making shots here and there, but the other side of the ball, three-point shooters had more than 5 foot of space surrounding them continuously. Rookies, players who were not in the league last year, guys who were in college last year, were closing this basketball game against Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook. 3 Hall of Famers. Rookies. And so that's why I'm like, man, to get on here and say, oh, we need to blow it up, we don't have the option. Because logically, the best thing to do in blowing it up is trading AD. I think it makes all the sense in the world to trade AD when he's playing well. But I also think it makes all the sense in the world to not trade AD when it's playing well. So it balances itself out. The logic there just will never make any sense. He's playing too well to trade. He's too injury prone not to. You're just stuck in no man's land. Anything you do is probably wrong. But the rest of this stuff, LeBron James and how he's playing, Russell Westbrook, and some of the stuff that we're seeing, that stuff is amendable, man. Sit these guys down if they play like that, man. Sit them down next to me like they Damian Jones, I swear to you. No hesitation, man. Just let them complain about it. Tweet about it. And you know what you're going to tweet? You're going to tweet that the coach did what he needed to do to stop the bleeding so that the team overall could have the best possible outcome. That's what you're going to tweet. You're going to say, you didn't respect me, but I didn't respect myself because I was going out there blowing them possessions left and right. So the only thing the coach can do in order for us to win is to sit myself and make sure that we don't have ourselves in a situation where we're allowing my mistakes to cost us to win. That is what LeBron James needs to be saying when Darvin Ham does what he needs to do and sitting him when he plays like he played last night on the defensive end. And if I'm Patrick Beverley, I understand beyond the shadow of a doubt that I can't take games off with this team. I would love to say that him pushing DeAndre Ayton ultimately played out the way it needed to. But when I look at that Pacer game, I realize we lost because he wasn't down there helping us play defense in an intelligent way. Hurt us after all, Patrick. It really did. These idiots couldn't keep a lead without you. I don't know that you would have helped us on the offensive end, but that wasn't our problem. That's the point. It wasn't a problem. These guys focus on the offensive end, not having the habits of making up for what Patrick didn't provide defensively. And the thing that keeps playing back in my face is the shot that LeBron James hit after Russell Westbrook was doing all his under the leg stuff, and LeBron James made his, fade away, whatever it was, and he just had this look on his face like, okay, everything is stable now. Like I'm gonna close this game, we're good. And then I look at him and I'm like, he doesn't have any urgency on the other side. How can you feel so stable when your team is playing so poorly defensively? How can you act like you got things under control when the team's bleeding from 7 different spots on the floor? That's what I'm saying. When I say he's a loser, I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way as it pertains to identifying him and then placing a insult on his name. This is exactly what it is that I'm referring to that caters itself to losing stuff. This helps the other team on the other side, friend. And so that's what I'm trying to help him understand. It's like, that is a losing thing. Shooting a bunch of threes when you know your team's a bad 3-point shooting team. That's a losing thing. You're going to give yourself a loss. You know what I mean? It's like just stuff like, does he truly understand what all he contributes to on both sides of the floor in losing? Because I bet you he could tell you everything he does good. But does he really understand the stuff that he caters to that makes it so that other guys are worse? Because it's a lot of stuff this year, man. It's a lot of stuff. And so as a complaining Laker fan who's supposed to be so very appreciative of LeBron James choosing our team, because we would have still been in the dumps if he didn't, even though we would have had all our picks and a bunch of flexibility to not be in the dumps, which really does hold a lot of weight with a person like myself who thinks like a GM. But nevertheless, I'm supposed to ignore all that because I'm not supposed to know anything about all of that. And so I'm supposed to be very happy because he brought us a championship and mortgaged our entire future to do so, even though we probably could have took all the stuff that we mortgaged and put together 3 or 4 different championship teams if we didn't do that. But nevertheless, here we are. I'm just not that kind of stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know too well better to want better for my team, period. Like, I'm not wired to just want what the media tells me to want. I know better. I pay attention. Literally follow this stuff, and I know this is garbage. Everything we got going on is garbage, and most importantly, we got garbage in the balance in regards to our future. It's like garbage on a tightrope, and if it falls, your future tumbles with it. That's exactly what this is. Garbage on a tightrope. Hopefully, guys, feel confident that they can one-up one another tomorrow in practice so that we can get some continuity on the floor. I guess that might motivate them or something. I don't know what works, but it seems to me when Russell Westbrook's playing well, LeBron James don't play defense. It seems like when Russell Westbrook is doing horribly, LeBron James come in and he's just... as long as Westbrook is playing garbage, LeBron James come in stable. You know what I mean? Westbrook got 7 turnovers. LeBron James hit 7 threes. Like, I'm exaggerating, of course, but that's the vibe. It's like they hate each other, literally. And then when I look at AD, to be honest with you, I see the same problem with Russell Westbrook. He don't like Russell and AD roll their eyes at each other all the time, man. All game long, it's like, hey, here we go. You gonna do something right? No. When I get you the ball, you gonna do something right? It's like that kind of stuff with those two. But with LeBron James, it's like an ego trip. It's like, which one of us is the real? Like, I'm the real Hall of Famer. Even though you the Hall of Famer, I'm still me. You gonna have... It's that kind of stuff. And it's like, if I'm LeBron James, I really don't have time for that. I probably didn't, engage in that to start. But since it's here, it's like, you got to do a better job of disarming that stuff. I don't know what it takes to make Russell Westbrook calm in that environment. I don't know that he can be. I don't know, looking at this for a year and a half, I don't know he could ever be fully himself in this environment. But what I can say is after all this time, y'all still ain't found a way to put that childish crap around to the side. Y'all ain't put that childish stuff to the side yet. I don't know, man. You know what this looks like to me? I might be looking at this wrong, but like when guys are superstars, it just tells me that they're coddled, man. And the NBA has done a great job of coddling their superstars, making them weaker as humans. So they can't make certain sacrifices. So they don't have the desire to do certain things. So they don't want to sacrifice for other people. It's like, man, you got to cater to me. And if you're not, then we all going to fail together. It's like, no, brother, you are going against the intellectual aspect of your competitive nature when you do that. Now you're playing into the defense hands. Now you're making it so that your opponent looks good. When you strategize that way, it's just like, I want my guys to just get smarter about how they want to beat the other team, do the things necessary to do so every night so we don't have to talk like this, man. You know what I mean? Like, literally. It starts with continuity, guys getting along, guys playing well, and then it translates to better basketball we don't have to complain about. So that's it, man. All my other speculation is probably for entertainment purposes only. If I'm off, way off, cool. I'm fine with being way off. Be entertained by it. But at the end of the day, this is what it comes off as. This is the way it come off. I'm not pulling this stuff out of my backside. I promise you I'm not. I'm looking at stuff and I'm seeing people behave a certain way according to what it is I see. And I'm calling it out. And it starts with team chemistry. It starts with superstars putting a bit of their own selfishness to the side for the betterment of our team so that other guys don't have to celebrate running off of our floor. I can't tell you how much that actually drives what it is that gets me going when I talk. I just want to beat people, man. I want to win. This is the way that I think I can best help my team do so. And I'm not overly invested in guys getting along with one another. That's not my mindset. But since we have to be together, since Jeannie refused to blow this thing up, damn it, I need guys to be professional, man. Be professional and respect the colors you're wearing. And if you can't do that, sit down next to the coach, please. Collect your salary without wasting our time. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.